Big stretch of the body. Gently relaxing to the floor. You can grab your strap if you need it. We're going to leave our left leg long. Sole of the right foot's going to come up towards the ceiling. You can do strap to the ball of the foot, or if you want to grab peace fingers to the big toe, you can do that. Coming into our big toe pose. Trying to pull your low belly in just a little bit to kind of neutralize your spine, prevent the arching. Keeping that right foot flexed, just breathing into the back of the leg. Letting the right leg fall all the way over to the right side, strapping our right hand. Keeping the left toes pointing up. Bringing that right leg all the way back up through center, over to the left a tiny bit, strapping to your left hand. Keeping most of the back of your right hip on the floor. Slowly letting that right leg fall all the way over to the left side. You can let it come to the floor. The back of the right hip can come away from the mat, kind of coming into a twist. Again, trying to keep both our legs straight. Use the strap. Bringing the right leg all the way back up to center. We'll gently lower it back down to the floor. This time we'll switch. So now our left foot is up towards the ceiling. Just moving the strap to the left foot. Settle in with your breath. Just breathe and feel. Paying attention to your body. Left leg fall all the way over to the left side, strapping the left hand. Back right side of the body still flat on the floor. Don't forget to flex the right foot too. Left leg's coming all the way up through center, crossing over to the right a little bit, strapping the right hand. Still keeping the chest pointing up. Left leg falls all the way over to the right side. Again, coming into your, coming into your twist. Slow breath. Letting the left leg come all the way back up to center. We'll lift the right leg to join. Roll your ankles, squish your toes. Pressing the backs of your hips into the floor and pressing the tops of the feet up. Gently bending the knees, bringing the soles of the feet together. Our hands will reach down for the ankles or the feet. Coming into your reclined butterfly. Let the shoulders pull down out of the ears. The knees relax open. Releasing the feet, knees will come into the chest. Rocking ourselves all the way up and over to our hands and knees. Coming into your tabletop position. starting with a few rounds of cat-cow. Inhale to drop the belly, lift the face and the tailbone. Exhale, round the back, pressing the floor away, chin tucks. Do a couple more, your pace. If you need to do a side squish or a body roll, feel free. When you're evened out, coming back to a neutral tabletop position. We're gonna let the hips shift all the way back into a child's pose. Let the arms reach forward. Maybe rock across the shin a little. Shifting the hips towards the top of the mat, coming into our up dog. Hands under the shoulders. Bringing our right shoulder a little bit forward and our left one back. Belly stretch. And coming back through center. This time right shoulder back, left one forward. Coming back to center, we'll lift the hips back up into our tabletop position. We'll start with the right foot on the floor. Extending the leg back, rocking across the ball of the foot. You can also scoot that right foot all the way over to the left side if you want to do a little side squish. Coming back to center, we'll lift the right leg up, straight back from the hip. You can stay here if you need to, or we can lift that left arm up by the ear. Reaching out through our fingertips, all the way down the body to the heel. Pulling our low belly in a little bit so we're not dumping. Pressing into our right hand. Next breath, elbow to knee underneath, rounding our back. And extending arm and leg long. This time, left arm to the left side, right knee comes up and outside our right shoulder. And extending arm and leg long. This time bending the right knee, we're going to sweep that left arm back, maybe reaching for the foot, kicking it away as you pull it in, press into that right hand. Gently releasing the right foot back, left hand will come back to the top of the mat. Leaning into the left side of the body, reach that right arm up towards the ceiling, opening up your right hip. Coming into our mini half moon. You can also leave the foot down if you'd like. Feeling the stacking, left wrist, right shoulder, right wrist. Slowly bringing our right knee all the way back down to the floor. We're going to thread the right arm underneath the left, coming down to the back of the arm. Reaching the fingertips all the way through. Keeping our hips lifted. Big breath into the back of the arm. Bringing the left hand in front of the face. We'll press into the left hand, keeping both knees on the floor, reaching that right arm up to the ceiling. Pulling your belly in. And one more time, threading that right arm underneath the left. Kind of relaxing onto the top of your right arm. Pressing into the left hand, we'll bring both hands back to the top of the mat. This time we'll extend our left leg back, toes on the floor. Take a couple rocks back and forth. Again, you can move that left foot over to the right side. Coming back to center. Lifting the left leg up from the floor, leg straight back, pull the belly in, chest is lifting, getting a good position from the start. Right arm will reach up by our ear. Again, lengthening the body. Reach out through the fingertips and the heel. Next breath, elbow to knee underneath, round the back. And extending arm and leg long. This time, right arm out to the right, left knee up and outside our left shoulder. And arm and leg long. Bending the left knee, sweeping that right arm back for the foot. Again, lifting in the chest. Press into that left hand. Releasing the right leg straight back, hand to the top of the mat. We're gonna lean into the right side of the body. This time left arm reaches up, left hip opens up. And stacking our shoulders. Remember to breathe. Remind your body that it's okay. Gently bringing that left knee all the way back down to the floor. It's not very gentle. Slide that left arm underneath the right. Take breath into the back of the left arm or shoulder. Right hand in front of the face, keeping both knees down. We'll reach that left arm all the way up to the ceiling. Wide stretch. And threading the left arm back through underneath our right. Lowering to the shoulder. Pressing to the right hand, we'll bring our left hand back to the top of the mat to our tabletop position. Go ahead and shift back for a second. Maybe bring the arms behind you, roll out your shoulders or your wrists. Gently coming back up to our tabletop position. This time we're going to walk the hands a step or two further, just a little bit out. Tuck the toes, lifting the knees into our plank. Again, pulling in our belly, trying not to let the hips drop too low or up like a triangle. Leaning into the left hand, we're going to reach the right arm up towards the ceiling. Coming into your side plank. If you need to drop that left knee, you can do that as well. Stepping our right foot behind us, sole of the foot to the floor. You can press into the sole of the foot, lifting the hips a little bit more for your wild thing. Coming back to your side plank. This time we'll bring the right hand back down to the floor, regular plank. Right foot's going to shoot across to the left side. Leaning into our right hand, we'll reach the left arm up this time. Press into the hands and the foot. We want to lift the hips. Gently bringing our left hand back down to the top of the mat. We'll shoot our right foot back into our plank. This time leaning into the right side again. We're reaching the left arm all the way up. Side plank. Keep that right ear out of your shoulder. Stepping the left foot behind you, sole of the foot to the floor. Pressing into the foot. Lifting the hips a little bit more. Gently coming back into your side plank. This time we'll bring the left hand back to the top of the mat, regular plank. Left foot shoots through to the right side. Lean into the left hand, right arm reaching up. Lift the hips. Left ear out of our shoulder. Bringing the right hand back to the top of the mat. We'll shoot our left knee or left foot back into your plank. Drop the knees to the floor, shift back into your child's pose again. You can roll out your wrists, relax the arms. Coming back up to our tabletop position. We'll go ahead and tuck our toes, lift our knees, shifting our hips up and back into our downward dog. Spread your fingers, your toes, maybe pedal the heels. Long extension through the back. Trying to let the heels lower to the floor, even if they don't touch. Gently walking our feet forward to meet our hands, coming into our forward fold. Top half hangs. If you want to grab opposite elbows and sway side to side. And straighten one knee straighten and bend one knee at a time. Relax your face. Inhaling for a half lift, flattening our back. We'll bring the arms behind us, interlacing the fingers on top of our tailbone. Keeping your palms together and your wrists together. Gently let it go, folding forward. Let the hands come up, away from the body, towards the ceiling. Looking back between the legs. Gently releasing the arms all the way down to the floor. Pressing into the feet, rolling our way up. Nice and slow, head will come up last. Coming into our sun salutations. Feet flat on the floor, feel your soles pressing down, the body lifting tall. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, plant the hands, hop or step back. Chaturanga. Inhaling, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Lift the hips, one breath. Next, inhale, hop, step, walk, top of the mat. Half lift. Exhale, fold. Press into the feet, rise up. Big inhale, second A. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, hop or step back. Chaturanga. Inhaling, up dog. Exhale, down dog. One breath. Next, inhale, hop, step, walk to the top of the mat. Half lift. Exhale, fold. Press into the feet, rise up. Big inhale. We'll bring the hands together at heart center or to your sides, whichever one. We're going to come into our flow. So bringing the feet hip distance. Standing up tall. Do a lot of anchoring down through our feet. Inhaling, arms up. We're going to bend the knees, lower the hips like we're coming into chair, but bring the arms straight out in front of us. Palms down, legs parallel. They can be together or apart. They just need to be the same. Maybe come up to the tiptoes, lifting the heel into your zombie. Gently lowering the heels back down to the floor. We'll step our left foot back. Inhaling, arms up for our crescent lunge. So right knee's bent, ball of the left foot's down. The shoulders relax again. We're grounding into this right foot. Shifting forward onto the right leg. Left knee is going to come up to our chest, kind of like a Liberty style. You can leave the hands together above your head, or you can bring them to heart center. Letting that left knee open up to the side, sole of the foot inside the right thigh, coming into our tree. Trying not to let our right hip poke out too far. Keeping everything stacked on that right leg. Gently bringing the hands to your hips or out to a T. We're going to hinge the upper body forward, keeping the tree leg. Gently releasing that left knee. We're going to shoot our left leg all the way back into our warrior three. Keeping the chest lifting, body parallel to the floor, left toes pointing down. Gently bending both knees. We're going to tap the left knee to the back of the right knee. Straightening back out into our warrior three. This time right hand's going to come towards the floor. Left arm, left hip are opening up into our half moon. Just like we did on the knee. Remember, you can use a block at the top of the mat. Bending the right knee, we're going to let the left foot come all the way down to the floor. Inhaling that right arm up and back into your reverse warrior. Keep your front knee bent. Right knee's forward. Yep. Straightening the right leg, still reaching that arm back. Bending our right knee, that right arm's going to shift forward. You can bring your forearm to the knee or your hand to the floor. Left arm up and over the ear for your extended side angle. Try to widen your stance, drop that left hip down. Inhale, coming all the way up to center. We're going to face the side of our mat. Let the toes point out. Inhaling, arms high. Exhale, folding forward. We're going to bring our hands to the floor. Then we're going to bend the knees, lowering the hips, kind of like we did for chair. Coming up to the toes, coming into our spider. Trying to lower the hips as much as you can. Straightening the legs, we'll spin the heels out, lowering them to the floor, so now our toes are pointing in. Letting it go, folding forward. Insides of the feet are pressing down. Top half's hanging. Inhaling for a half lift, we're going to bring our chest parallel to the floor, arms out to a T. Reaching the left hand over towards the right foot. Right hand can reach up to the sky, or you can wrap it behind the back. Trying to keep our back flat like a table. And coming back through center. This time right hand over to the left toes. Bending the left knee, we're going to pivot the feet towards the back of the mat. Both hands come to the back. So now we're in our runner's lunge. Right toes are back, left knee's bent. We're facing the back of our mat. Pressing into the feet, we're going to gently lift the chest, coming all the way up to our crescent. The shoulders drop down. Planting into the left foot, this time shifting to the back of the mat. Right knee's going to come up and in. Find your balance, settle your breath. Then let that right knee open up to the side, sole of the foot inside the leg. Breathe. Hands will come to our hips or out to a T, gently hinging the upper body forward. You don't have to go very far. Letting the right knee come forward, right leg will shoot back into our warrior three. Body is flat, right toes are pointing down. Use the wall if you want. Gently bending the left knee, right knee's gonna come tap the back of the knee. And straightening back out to our warrior three. This time we'll let the left hand come towards the floor, right arm reaching up towards the ceiling, opening up that right hip, half moon. Try to engage your back leg, don't let it just flop around. Gently bending our right knee, we're gonna bring both feet all the way back to the end of the mat, to the back of the mat. Pressing into the feet, inhale both arms up. Exhale, bending the knees into our zombie again, so arms in front. Press, maybe lifting up the heels, coming to the toes again. It's okay if you shake. Gently lowering the heels back down. This time we're going to step our left foot back. Inhaling, arms up. Crescent lunge. Grounding into our right foot, we're shifting forward, back onto that right leg. Left knee comes in for our liberty. Letting the left knee open up, sole of the foot to the inside of the thigh for tree. Standing tall. Gently hinging the upper body forward. Coming into your hinged tree. Releasing the left foot, shooting it all the way back into your warrior three. Pressing into that right foot. Try to keep everything lifted from the floor. Bending both knees. Left knee's going to tap the back of the right. And straightening back out to your warrior three. This time right hand comes towards the floor, left arm reaching up towards the ceiling, half moon. Now left hip's open. Bending the right knee, left foot comes all the way to the floor. Inhaling, right arm up and back. Keep your front knee bent, reverse warrior. Gently straightening the right leg, reaching back. Bending the right knee, sweeping that right arm forward again. Left arm reaching up and over the ear. Extended side angle back of the mat. Inhale, coming up to center, facing the side of our mat. Both toes or both sets of feet are pointing out. Both sets. Goodness. Inhaling, arms up. Exhale, folding forward. Hands will come to the floor. Bend the knees, dropping the hips. And when you're ready, lifting the heels, coming up to our toes. Try to let the hips lower. Again, embrace your shape. Straightening the legs out, we'll spin the heels out, lowering them to the floor. So now our toes are pointing in. Inhale for a little half lift. And exhale, fold forward. And checking in, make sure the insides of the feet are down. Try to relax your face, let go of some of that tension. Inhale for a half lift, flat back. We'll bring the arms out to a T. Left hand reaching over to the right foot, flat back. Again, you can wrap that right arm behind or reach it up to the ceiling. Try not to let your hips shift back too far. Coming back through center. This time, right hand over to the left foot, left arm wraps behind. Gently bending the left knee, bringing both hands towards the top of the mat, pivoting into your runner's lunge, both hands down. Gently lift our left foot up, stepping it all the way back into your plank. Shift forward for a vinyasa, or lift the hips for your down dog. Go ahead and bend the knees, bring them to the floor, shift back, take a little child's pose or a little pause to settle the breath. Maybe it got a little fast before we move on to the other side. Maybe do a quick scan of the body, see how you're feeling. Up into our tabletop. Tuck the toes, lift the knees, shift all the way back up to our downward dog. Full breath here. And walking the feet forward towards the top of the mat. Slowly rolling ourselves up, head will come up last. Alright, time to go the other direction. Back at the top, feet flat on the floor, inhale, arms up. Exhale, lowering into your chair. Arms in front, maybe lifting up the heels, coming to the toes. Gently lowering the heels back down to the floor. We'll step our right foot back. Inhaling, arms and chest up into our crescent lunge. Front knees bent, follow the right foot on the floor. Settle in. Shifting forward onto that left leg, right knee's gonna come up. And find your balance, use the wall. Let that right knee open up, sole of the foot to the leg for tree. Try not to white knuckle your toes or squeeze too hard. Press into the whole sole of the foot. Hinging forward, hands to hips or out to a T. Hinge tree. Releasing that right knee back, right leg will right leg shoot straight back. Coming to our warrior three. Keeping our chest lifted. Bending both knees, right knee's gonna tap the back of the left knee. Straight knee back out to your warrior three. This time let the left hand reach for the floor, right arm up towards the ceiling, opening up the right side of the body, half moon. Flexing the right foot. Bending the left knee, right foot comes all the way to the floor. Inhaling, arm up, left hand reaching back. Keep that front knee bent for your reverse warrior. Straightening the left leg, still reaching back. Bending the left knee, sweeping our left arm forward, right arm up and over the ear, extended side angle. Reach through the fingertips. Feel that big stretch on the right side, all the way to the outside of your right foot. Inhale, coming up to center, facing the side of our mat, toes pointing out. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, folding forward, hands to the floor. Bending the knees, dropping the hips. Coming up to the toes. Let the hips relax. Straightening the legs, spinning the heels out before you lower them to the floor, so our toes are pointing in. Little half lift. Exhale, folding in the middle. Inhaling, half lift, bringing our chest parallel, arms out to a T. Right hand reaching all the way over to the left toes. Left hand towards the ceiling or wrapping it behind the back. And coming back through center. This time left hand over to the right foot, right arm reaching up. Bending the right knee, pivoting the feet towards the back of the mat. Both hands to the top, coming into our runner's lunge. Pressing into the feet, gently lifting the chest, coming all the way up to our crescent. Shoulders drop. Planting into the right foot, shifting towards the back of the mat. Left knee comes up for your liberty. Standing tall. Left knee opens up to the side, sole of the foot inside the thigh for our tree. Gently hinging the upper body forward any amount. Gently releasing that left foot all the way back, straightening the leg into our warrior three. Left toes down, pull our belly button up. Try to stabilize in the right leg. Bending both knees, left knee's gonna tap the back of the right knee. And straightening back out to our warrior three. This time right hand comes to the floor, left arm reaching up towards the ceiling, opening up our left hip, half moon. Gently bending that left knee, bringing both feet all the way back to the top or the back of your mat. Pressing into the feet, rising all the way up. And exhale, bending back down into your chair, arms in front. Coming up to the toes for zombie. Releasing the heels down. This time our right foot steps back, coming into our crescent, facing the back of the mat. Left foot's forward. And relaxing those shoulders. Rounding into that left foot, we're shifting forward. Right knee's coming back up. Pull your belly button in. Try to stand tall. Letting the right knee come out to the side. Sole of the foot to the inside of the thigh for tree. Keeping our left hip underneath. Gently hinging the upper body forward. Letting the right leg shoot back into your warrior three. Keeping the right toes pointing down, body parallel to the floor. Bending both knees. Right knee's going to tap the back of the left knee. And straightening back out to our warrior three. This time left hand comes towards the floor, right arm up towards the ceiling, opening up our right hip, half moon. Bending the left knee, right foot comes all the way to the floor. Inhaling, left arm up and back. Keep the front knee or the left knee bent. Reverse warrior. Straightening that right or left knee out, reaching back. Gently bending the left knee, sweeping our left arm forward, right arm up and over the ear. Reaching towards the top, or I guess the back. Inhale, coming up to center, straightening the legs, pointing both our toes out, facing the side of the mat. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, folding forward, hands to the floor. Bending the knees, dropping the hips. Then coming up to the toes if you'd like. Straightening the legs, spinning the heels out as you lower them to the floor, so our toes are in. Inhale for a little half lift. And exhale, fold forward, let it go. Inhale for a half lift, chest is parallel to the floor, arms out to a T, almost there. Right hand reaching over to the left toes. And back through center. This time left hand over to the right foot. Bending the right knee, bringing both hands towards the back of your mat, pivoting the feet into our runner's lunge. Stepping that right foot all the way back into your plank. Shift forward vinyasa or lift the hips, down dog. Take a breath or two in your down dog. And bending your knees, we'll bring them all the way down to the floor. Scooting our right shin forward, coming into our pigeon. Walking that left knee back. Stay up tall for a moment. Just wiggling around. You can always put a block underneath that right hip if you're falling. Bending the elbows or releasing to the floor. Folding forward for your resting pigeon. Breathing into our right hip. Maybe if you want to bend that left knee, you can do that. You can also reach back for the foot if you'd like. Regular pigeon works just as well. Coming up to our hands. We're going to tuck the left toes underneath. We'll lift the hips just enough. This right knee comes all the way out to the right side, lowering down to the belly. Let the inside of that right thigh be on the floor. Pigeon works the outside of the hip, or the outside of the leg doesn't get the inside. Sliding our right knee down to meet our left. Right arm will come out to a T. Left hand under our left shoulder. Bending the left knee. Roll over to the right side of your body. Keep that right palm down. If you need a little more, walk it up, or you can bend the elbow. Just be careful. If you need a little less, scoot the right hand down.
And in this election, the fact is, Don Bacon pushed to ban abortion nationwide, without exceptions for rape or incest.
Rolling back to center, bringing the hands under the shoulders. Pressing yourself back up to your tabletop position. Maybe wiggle out the shoulders a little bit. This time sliding our left knee forward to our pigeon other side. Lock under the left hip if you need. Found a spot that works for you, let it go, fold on down. Relax the left hip. To the hands, tucking the right toes underneath, this time moving that left knee out to the left. Again, letting the inner thigh just melt down. Full breath. Just let yourself melt. Left knee down to meet our right. Left arm out to a T. Right hand under our right shoulder. Bending the right knee, rolling over to the left side of the body this time. Try to keep that shoulder down out of the ear. You notice it kind of like tucks up. Push it back down towards your hips a little. Rolling back to center. We'll bring the hands underneath the shoulders, pressing ourselves up to a tabletop. Rotating towards the side of our mat. This way your knees don't hurt you. Gently walking the knees out wider and wider. You can also come to your forearms, kind of coming into your frog. Insides of the feet on the floor. Just breathe, let the hips naturally lower. Maybe shift back and forward, nice and slow. Sometimes shifting back is a little bit more intense. Slowly coming back up to our hands, walking the knees back into center, turning towards the top of our mat. Go ahead and come up to, or actually staying in your tabletop. We'll bring this right knee, bending the right knee, right foot comes up and outside our right hand. Walk that left knee back a little bit, trying to keep our chest lifting. Let the right toes point out to the side just a little bit. Bending the elbows, let that right knee open up to the floor, coming into your winged dragon. You can come to your forearms or a block. Breathing into that right hip. To our hands, we'll close that right knee in, heel toeing the foot all the way to the center of our mat. Inhale, lifting the arms and the chest, low lunge. Press those hips down and forward. Straight, or tucking the left toes underneath, straightening our right knee, shifting all the way back, letting the hips lower. So that way your sits bones are propped up on your heel, which is propped up on your toe. Slight hinge forward, flex that right foot. Lift the hips enough to untuck the toes, coming right back down to where you were. Still trying to keep everything kind of stacked on the left side. Forward, coming back into our tabletop position. We'll slide that right knee back underneath us. This time left foot steps up and outside our left hand. Maybe walk the right knee back. Again, letting the hips drop as you lift the chest. Try to keep that right knee or left knee in at first. Letting the left toes point out to the side. Gently bend the elbows, come into the forearms. Let that left knee open up, sole of the foot away from the floor. Coming back up to our hands. Bringing that left knee in, heel toeing the foot towards the center of your mat. Inhale, arms up, low lunge. Let the shoulders drop, relax your face. Tucking the right toes underneath, we'll straighten the left leg, shifting all the way back. Let the hips lower. Again, kind of propping yourself up on the right side. Just enough to untuck the toes, lowering back down. Shifting forward, coming back into our tabletop position. That right knee will slide underneath. We'll just go ahead and lower the hips, coming to a regular seat. Extending our legs straight in front for our staff, or for our pike. Inhaling, arms up. Exhale, hinge forward, reach for the feet or your toes. Roll your pelvis forward just a little bit so that way your back is flat. Think nose to the toes instead of nose to shins. Releasing the feet, coming up. We're gonna bring the soles of the feet to the floor. Right ankle is gonna cross on top of our left knee. You can bring the hands behind you to kind of use as a kickstand. You can also scoot that heel as close to your body as you can. Trying to keep this right shin parallel, so it's kind of like another version of pigeon. Sit up tall. Pressing into the hands and that left foot. We're gonna lift the hips, coming up to a figure four bridge. Keep that right knee open. Press into that left foot, lift the hips. And slowly lowering back down to the floor. This time we'll switch, bringing our right foot back down, left ankle on top of the right knee. Setting up your position, finding what spacing works for you. Settle in and breathe. Keep the sits bones on the floor. Pressing into the right foot and the hands, lifting the hips up, figure four bridge. Press into that right foot, you can do it, lift the hips. And gently lowering all the way back down to the floor. We'll uncross the ankles, go ahead and make your way all the way down to your back. Keeping the back flat, we're gonna lift the feet, bringing our shins parallel to the floor. So knees are at a 90-degree angle. We're gonna engage our core to start. So pulling it in, pressing your low back into the floor. Keep your low back on the floor no matter what. It doesn't matter how far we move the arms and the legs, is that we keep this core engagement. Reaching the hands up towards the ceiling, coming into our dead bug. This time we're gonna let that right leg either straighten or lower to tap the right heel to the floor or low, wherever you have to stop. Left arm's gonna reach up and over the ear. Coming back up to center, keep the engagement. This time left leg lowers, right arm up and over the ear. Squeeze your belly in, back up to center. Right leg lowers, left arm up and over the ear. Push that low back down. Coming back up to center, one more. Left leg straightens, right arm up and over the ear, squeezing our belly in. And coming back to center, let the knees fall into the chest. Take a little rock side to side. Straightening the legs all the way up to the ceiling. Again, you can grab the back of the legs or the toes. Trying to keep your hip bones, the back of your hips on the floor. Releasing the toes, bending the knees. Hands will grab the outsides of the feet for your happy baby. Knees right outside the ribs, soles of the feet up. If you want to rock a little side to side, you can. And also just rest in the middle. Big breath. Releasing the feet, knees come into the chest. Rocking side to side. Extending the arms overhead, legs long, big stretch of the body. You can take any additional moves that you might want or need before your Shavasana to help you feel evened out. If you need another twist or another bridge, whatever is calling to you.
When Don Bacon left Omaha for Washington, he went full MAGA.